Hello and welcome to the AV Experience, where we bring another impromptu episode where we have no idea what we're doing and we fly by the seat of our pants. As always, I'm joined by Jonathan, and we put in this awesome new background. But before we put the background in, I put in the mock-up, and Jonathan and I looked at each other, or we would if we were next to each other, and went, why are we locked into these really sad faces? And it was because Brian Kramer, who made this for us, it was a mock-up, and I put the wrong one on, and it had a camera of us, and we couldn't figure out why we were frozen, let alone wearing different clothing. I don't know why we didn't think about that, but I figured it out. So here we are. That's why we were a few minutes late, and we jumped forward 24 hours because I put on the schedule that it was going to be tomorrow, but it is today. Because as I was sending Jonathan text earlier, I was like, "Hey, you want to stream tonight?" Oh wait, my wife says we need to stream tomorrow. Oh no, she said we've got stuff tomorrow, so we're streaming today. And you can blame me for all of the craziness. It's always my fault. But Jonathan, we had pizza yesterday,
Yes, we did.
and it was your favorite pizza ever.
It was good. Not great. Good.
You did not say that it was.
Pizza. What was it? I can't even see the name of the place. What was it? Pizza.
He called it like Toshio. When there was a pizza up there called Toshio, but he called it Red Tosh. So I'm just going by what he said. That pizza was much better than the other pizza I had, the margarita or whatever, and it was all fine. Or as
We
you
heard in the comments this was the best pizza around, and Portnoy says it's the best pizza in Kansas City.
He's wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
It was fine. It was edible. I'm not going to dream about going back there.
Nor I.
No.
I had a piece of Supreme, and I had a piece of bacon ranch, like the white sauce.
I had a piece.
It was both good.
Yeah, it was both. It was pizza. It was good. New York style. I think it probably would have been better if we got fresh pies instead of them putting back in and making the.
But that's that whole style. That's the way they always do it.
I know, but it was a little.
So it's like the New York deli style pizza where you go up there, they have the pizza all laid out on the thing. You ask what you want, they throw it in the oven for 30 seconds and give it to you. As far as that kind of pizza goes, it was
fine. I'd rather have Chicago style deep dish though.
I would too.
That's my go-to. I go to Chicago. I go to as many of the deep dish places as possible. I'll eat pizza for probably between 6 and 10 meals in a row.
I can't even think of the name that I like of the one up there. It starts, I think, with a Louis. It's Louis or Louis, something like that. So I don't remember.
I'll remember as soon as
that was so good. Best Chicago deep dish. See what comes up.
So went there. Then yesterday I went to. So we actually did that not yesterday. We did that Tuesday, and then I went to Pizza 51 yesterday, which was fine. I really prefer Buffalo State pizza if I want New York style here in Kansas City. It was fine.
Lou Malnati's. I just looked at
Malnati's. Yes.
I can't believe someone in chat didn't help us out. But
and then there's Giordano's, and then there's another one that I can never remember the name that is actually my favorite, but I'll eat all of them.
Lou Malnati's with their namesake pizza and their sausage. They're like homebrew.
It is really good.
Oh, good.
It is very good.
Cheese is on so thick, it's like that whole like stretch it out, and it's
nothing beats Domino's.
Get out of here! Block that guy.
I mean, Domino's is okay.
No.
Yeah, it's not very.
No, that's like the worst.
Okay, off of pizza. Let's talk movies. Was there a movie we were supposed to watch?
I don't know, but I watched The Long Walk and kind of regretted it.
It wasn't that bad.
It's a downer.
Okay, it was a downer. Yes, absolutely. It wasn't a bad movie, but it was a downer for sure.
I saw something where the director was being interviewed, and he thought that movie was underrated, underappreciated, and he said that he thought it would, in 10 years, have the cult following of something like Shawshank Redemption. And I was thinking, no, sorry, man, no, not even close.
Entertaining movie, good movie. I don't have an yearning to go rewatch it though. It was a downer. I enjoyed it though. It was different. I liked that it was different. Very 1984-esque. Appreciated it.
Did you realize? I didn't realize it until Tim told me when I was chatting in a text group that was Mark Hamill as the Major.
Dude, I don't know anybody.
I didn't know that. I mean, Mark Hamill we should recognize, but I
don't know anybody. You could be starring in a movie and I wouldn't recognize it was you.
They wouldn't even know my name.
I could be in a movie and I wouldn't realize I was in a movie. That's how bad I am. I watched when I was going over there. Best piece of cinema ever, Troll 2.
don't
It
think
was
I've
not
seen
good.
that one. I'm not sure I've even heard of that one.
Troll 2, it's Norwegian.
I might have seen Troll 1 on Netflix as a thumbnail for years and years and bypassed it.
I might have seen it as a thumbnail. Didn't actually make it past that part. I watched it as a thumbnail. Every
Yeah.
time I'd scroll past it, I've actually seen Troll and Troll 2. Get on my level, Jonathan. I've done
Hmm.
them both.
Is it as good as War of the Worlds on Amazon?
It's better than War of the Worlds.
Close. Are they in Battle Arena territory? Or Battlefield Earth, whatever that
Yeah. It's probably better than
and
Battlefield
stuff?
Earth. It's better than Battlefield Earth. It's a solid, like, what you would classify as a
B movie going
B
in.
movie. Like, not me grading a top tier movie a B. It's like it knows it's a B movie. Like it's
Hmm.
not doesn't try to be funny, but it's not a great movie. But it was enjoyable. I knew what it was going to be going in, and I don't regret it. So it's okay.
I watched Mission Impossible 3, I think, since we talked last, and I think I'm gonna do
Wow.
4. I haven't watched those old ones, so I'm catching up.
I haven't watched them either. I say wow, and I haven't watched them either. So
This may be unpopular opinion, but I thought 2 was better than 1, and I think 3 was better than 2. And I think people might disagree with that order, but I think they've gotten better with each movie so far for the first 3.
how do I order this? Why are you out of order? This doesn't help me at all.
Order what?
The movies I've watched.
Hmm.
Yeah, this doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form. Oh, I can order it by year. Okay. It helps when you learn how to use things in the sort function. And okay, I haven't seen any. I watched Troll 2, but I was at ISE, so there was that. Nothing really super exciting. There was that picture floating around on AVS. I didn't see this in person of the new lenses, supposedly.
Yeah.
Epson. I don't know where that's going to go, if it's going to go anywhere. Do you think it'll go anywhere?
As best I could tell from just looking up, it looked like it was like different aspect ratio type, different throw ratio. I mean, not aspect ratio, throw ratio, and some sort of like one that points vertical. Like you have it on the desk, it points at the ceiling. You have it on the ceiling, it points at the floor. Like just a
And these
straight
are
90 degree.
commercial lenses, guys, just to be clear. They're not necessarily made for residential. They're made for trade shows, sometimes like the one that points to the ceiling or amusement park, things that are not just putting a movie onto a screen. So keep that in mind. What else? I saw the Prime Theater Ascendo Barco room. Then I saw the Wisdom Barco Adeo room. Then I saw the Mag Theater room. Then I saw the JBL room. Talked to Christy for a long time about some stuff. Went by the AWOL booth because I wanted to see this direct view LEDs, and they just had the Valerian. And that was the extent of my trip. That was the most I could get away from everything, because just seeing those theaters took a while, like just to get through those.
So
Anything?
with the full theaters, like the bigger displays and environments, do they
Mhm.
play movie clips that you're familiar with? Was there any
Mhm.
new content that was kind of cool? You think I'll add that to my
The
rotation?
Barco one. So the Wisdom Room had a Nerthus, which is their like DCI, one of their DCI level projectors. It's 35,000 lumens. And then the other one that was with the Sendo and Prime had their DCI certified direct view LED. I'm going to just talk about the LED because we've talked about the Nerthus before. The LED, it had a calibration issue, so I'm looking past that. It was a true 1,000 nits, full field white. So not like a 10% window or something. It was 1,000 nits, full field white. It was unbelievably bright.
Mhm.
They had it at 500. And we're like, yeah, let's see what happens when we go to 1,000. And Yoshi, the engineer in charge of the direct view, he was pushing a button. It wasn't like a slider, and it just kept going and going and going and going. And we're like, oh, this is it. And it just kept going and going and it unbelievably bright. And then you turn on HDR content and it looks fantastic, even at 1,000 nits, because it's HDR, right? It's absolute values for the PEQ. So you put it on SDR, you're going to be blind. You put it on HDR, look fantastic. So they were actually rolling content. People threw there, if I remember correctly, out 1,000 nits. All the demos were being done for HDR content at 1,000 nits. It was marvelous. They had a calibration issue, but you know as well as I, you just got to look past that. You know what
Was that like a color calibration
it
issue?
was a color. It was a red push, so it was overemphasizing red and shadow detail. But you could calibrate that out. They put on Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Whew! Did that look good? Dang! At 1,000 nits, it looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Direct view, fidelity-wise, kicks the snot out of projection. There's no getting around it. But I cannot get behind the audio in any direct view or LCD or anything. I cannot get behind it. It's too much of a compromise for me because I can locate the speakers. Now, if you're doing it for maybe one row, if you got one row in the theater, you're not doing a multi-row application. I think your ability to locate them would be a lot more difficult because you're not compromising to try and bring more of an even keel to all of the seats and all of the rows. I can't get behind it when that compromise is made, and it's too distracting for me. So I can't bring myself to recommend it. I'm still all in on projection.
What do they do with their center channels in that display?
So that's above and below.
That was
It was the new Pro 8, which is great. It did a great job. It's the best I've heard in one of these environments, not a dedicated theater, like in a home or something, in a trade show. It's the best I've heard for that. It did a great job for it. A lot of people were convinced it was anchored in the middle. I never felt that way because I could localize where it was, but they did a great job. That new speaker's quite cool with its custom waveguide and 128 dB. I mean, it's legit. It's a cool speaker. And then they also had this custom Black Swan that was full forged carbon fiber, like the whole speaker, not just the horn, the whole thing. And it was double stacked 15s. And instead of them, if you've seen them on the website, instead of it being two boxes that sit next to each other, James has redesigned it in one cabinet so that he can deal with some of the resonances and group delays and things with the speaker, and it gorgeous. I mean, I talk about the Black Swan being ugly, but they've made it very pretty. All forged carbon fiber. There's a gold, like the gold they did to hold the horn looks really good. The engineering that they've put in on the 8 to get it on the wall so that you have if you have limited amount of space between the ceiling and the direct view, they have these like hooks that you can hook in to pull the speaker on and put it on. And there's some spring loaded mechanisms that allow you to more easily attach it. So there's been a lot of, I appreciate the engineering that went into that. So I got to give James kudos for that stuff. Storm announced, I don't know what the names of them are, but they announced a new commercial and residential preamp. It goes up to 16 channels, and they also released a new amplifier. And I want to say most of the calibration actually takes place on the amplifier. Don't quote me on this. I didn't spend a lot of time talking to Matt because I was getting pulled in multiple directions. Instead of going into that, I will just say there is a new preamp and there is a new amplifier coming from Storm that they had on display. It's a lower cost option. You're not getting down into like Marantz territory, but it's underneath the core. So that was exciting.
So we're talking like 10, 15, 12.
I don't have an exact price point for you. We'll have to wait for it to get officially announced, but it was less. And this is their first foray when it releases into FIR filters. They haven't been able to do those. The amp, where a lot of the DSP is taking place, is going to be able to do FIR. So that's exciting. What else? Trinov was there with their CI and continues to do that. That's an awesome product. And I confirmed with them that there is an audible difference. I think I mentioned this while we were at Pizza, Jonathan, that they're saying, Trinov is saying, Adam's saying, a lot of the guys in the industry are saying that have dealt with both of them, that there is supposedly an audible difference between them. it's not an in your face. It's just if you know how to listen, there is a difference, and they think it's the clock generator. The Trenov Altitude is still an awesome piece. Don't think that you need to get rid of it to go get a CI, but it's just something that came about. They didn't think this was going to be a thing, but it is. And they say the clock supposedly has changed some of the sound. Wisdom has a speaker called the VCA, and it is a like teardrop speaker. It's like the 70J1. They're not doing it for shading. They're doing it for dispersion, because if you think about a line source, right, you're just throwing sound out in a line. Vertical dispersion is very minimal in a line source. So this angle allows you to deal with, if you think about side surrounds, right, dispersion for catching more of in a big theater with equal sound, I guess. I didn't talk to Steve or any of those guys very much, but it was an interesting product. I didn't get an answer on if it was doing shading. I don't think it is. So there was that. I liked Mag. So Mag is a Ukrainian company. I'm going to talk more to the distributor, the U.S. distributor. I talked to one of my friends, Raphael, who lives in France. Mag they've got stuff at all different price points, but I really liked them for their lower cost options. They're very objectively driven, so that was super exciting. And the theater, what we heard in there, was probably my favorite out of all of them, shockingly.
Wow.
It was a smaller room, though, so I don't know how much the room size was playing into it, but it was the most enjoyable experience out of all of them that I went through. But it was probably a sixth the size of the other spaces, so it was significantly smaller.
I'm pulling up Mag Audio to take a look. I'm not familiar.
Then there was JBL. In JBL, they've got new speakers coming. I have never been... Something was wrong with that room. So the projector she was unhappy. And the speakers, I don't think there was a rug. It was all hard floor. So there was a lot of slap echo. And it just wasn't... It was rough.
Here's Mag. Promote to screen. Is it on there? Can you see
Yep.
it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not familiar with it. Did you see any of these particular products? This is their cinema line.
I honestly have no idea what speakers were in the theater. It just sounded good.
Yeah.
And I'll be talking to them more about it. So hopefully I'll learn more about it here in the near future. I got to have a conversation with Raphael. But they have stuff from really cheap to really expensive, and they actually do a lot in commercial cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I've heard of Thor subwoofers, so maybe I have heard of them. I just didn't realize it was from Mag. I mean, this is something that was kind of discussed in passing on occasion on the ABS forum, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then the last thing, we had a conversation with, second to last thing, we had a conversation with Christy about a new projector they have. It's like the CP44 RGBH. So it is an RGB and blue phosphor projector. It has two light sources at the same time. And the reason it does this is because, and remember, it's a commercial projector, is on high gain screens, the blue phosphor will reduce laser speckle. So if you're thinking about throwing it on really big screens, high gain, right, they go hand in hand. But you're able to independently control the blue phosphor and RGBs. So you can lower the phosphor, you can increase the RGB to be it, because RGB, you're going to get more color volume. Here, you're going to get more likes. It's like 60% phosphor, 40% RGB. So you have control over all of that. And that was an interesting take. I thought it was cool that they launched one last year, a blue phosphor based unit. It was bigger. And this is a new one that they were launching this year. So that was super cool. And then Jason Dustle, who I was walking around with, Janina, who was the engineer we were talking to, she does a lot with variable dynamic range, or what people refer to as Vader. We learned a lot about how Vader is functioning, and it's why it's taking a while. And it's taking a while because they're having to figure out a lot of math to get the colors right when the projector dims, to make sure the color stays the correct color. So they have math that is occurring on the FPGAs, and they're really working to make sure they fine tune this. Because remember, it's a commercial product. So there's a lot of stringent aspects to this instead of just residential and we're just going to dump the laser and, increase your dynamic contrast. They're actually trying to make it as accurate as they can, and the math proves very challenging. But the coolest part about us talking to her is she gave Jason, and I was envious. I'm jealous. Janina, if you're watching this, I hate you a little bit for not having one for me. She gave Jason a 1.38 DMD.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got one from the Christie and the Eclipse, and it's in a little like 3D printed case. You can see it. And it's amazing when you look at it and you're like, there's 3 of these in this projector.
Mm-hmm.
And the projector weighs 200 pounds for these 3 chips.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And you look at it and you're like, this monstrosity for this. And that's what it is. So that was an excellent conversation we had. They want to get Jason and I out to Germany to go through training and like take apart an Eclipse. And that's super awesome. I mean, I'm totally down for that. So that we're going to try and have her on the AVS podcast to teach and go through the granular inner workings of DLP and how DLP is actually functioning and what it's doing not in a Christie way, but the technology in general, so that people can better understand it. So that'll be great. Just recorded an episode today with Ben Goff on, pardon my dog barking at somebody upstairs, but Ben Goff talking about, you'll love this, Jonathan, reference level.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm sure you get a kick out of that conversation. So, that was my trip.
It's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot more stuff than that. Hey Siri, turn off the basement lights. A lot more stuff than that, but that was all I had time to go and do, unfortunately.
Hey Siri, turn on the theater. Does that work?
She can't hear you. Nice try. Nice try.
Dang it.
She doesn't turn on the theater anymore. I need to reprogram that shortcut. Haven't done it. You're gonna
So
be like,
I asked the question, but I think you understood it a different way, and that's fine. We got a lot of good information. Did you see any new demo content specifically by Clip Source that you thought would be fun? Like you mentioned Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Anything else? Anything new?
Let me hold on. I'm going to star some comments because you suck at starring things.
I'm listening to you.
You suck.
Focus in.
No, suck. That's what this is. Okay. Demo clips. We saw some DCI clips, and this is actually a short quib about this. We didn't have many DCI clips to pick from, and the best DCI clip that we could pick was Dr. Seuss.
What? Like the animated cartoon?
The new one that's coming? Yes.
Okay.
It was trailers, and the trailer was actually quite cool. Like color-wise, showing it on the wall looked really good. But then you had one for the new Mortal Kombat that's coming. I didn't know that was coming, but the new Mortal Kombat's coming. And it was just bad. Like the trailer was not great. I mean, the movie's not going to be great, so I can't fault the person doing the trailer. The movie's not going to be great. And then there was one, some like
trailers aren't even in like Dolby Atmos or anything, are they? I mean, do they have a special?
No. But it's the mixing and the video and stuff is a step above. But it could just be louder. It's just different. So anyway, they wanted to show DCI because it is a DCI certified wall. So that's why they wanted to show it. As far as other demo clips, F1 got a lot of play. The opening of F1 got a lot of play. Ambulance shockingly gets a lot of play at these shows. Jason Dustle really likes it because supposedly the safety vest and the traffic cones are in BT 2020. So they're outside of P3. They're colors that if the projector can do them, you won't see anywhere else. No.
The question then becomes how many people would notice that.
Look,
genuinely curious.
Hey, look, that traffic cone. I know that color.
I don't recognize. I've never seen that color.
Never seen that. Look at that. What else got shown? Sinners, of course, got shown quite a bit.
That scene you showed in your theater, is that the
Yeah.
one people use?
The spinning one going around in circles, that one got shown a lot. There's actually a really good one. Oh, who did it? It's a concert on Kaleidoscape. I can't remember who it was, though. I'll have to think about it. I saw it in MAG, and I actually really enjoyed it. Ballerina got some play. There really wasn't. Ready Player One, of course.
Is there a
Top Gun
clip that you're
Maverick.
so tired of seeing because every show and
Ready
every
Player
room shows
One.
it?
Ready Player One. Good God. It's so annoying. Like, you know what's gonna happen, and,
Yeah.
I learned today in my conversation with Ben that a lot of that demo is actually clipping.
It
Like,
doesn't
if you look.
terribly surprise me. I've never
Yeah.
really thought that thing was, like, that fantastic, but a lot of people love it, I know.
What's your favorite demo clip? Your absolute, not in any, just the one you love and you never get tired of.
There's a few of them. One that I will show to almost any person that asks is the THX Eclipse clip. It's about a minute long,
Yeah,
and that one's always just a bag of fun.
it is. Oh, is it done getting louder? No. What
It
about now?
doesn't
No.
stop until you're like,
Turn it up!
happening?
Turn it up!
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? What's your I will always play this clip?
Really like, and this is overplayed, but I really like Shallow from A Star Is Born,
Yes.
and I really like Alibi from A Star Is Born. I do not get tired of them.
I don't
Lady
think you've ever
Gaga to
seen
me
Alibi in your theater to me. I'll have to watch that next time I'm over.
she's amazing. Her voice is incredible. She's just fantastic. Those are the two that I never get tired of. Those are my go-tos.
Always a staple since it came out. I run that Brave clip so many times where it introduces the bear and he roars and there's
Mhm.
the clip, and then a lot of times the Mad Max Fury Road intro is fantastic, and for a lot of years there, the Into the Spider-Verse, like that little scene where he's get his suits on, he
Mhm.
dons his suit and he flies to the city and
Mhm.
stuff.
So
Those are
the
some
one they showed at the in the demos was when they're the reactor at the end that
Mhm.
they're trying to fight everybody
Yes,
off.
that's an intense scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of color and stuff going on. What is your most despised clip?
What am I really tired of?
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's kinda gone away, but for a lot of years there, and I played it myself, probably I just got tired of it. It was the Incredible Hulk, the 2008 version with Ed
Oh,
Norton,
yeah.
and the Abomination fighting the Hulk. It
Mhm.
was like every theater you went to, every single place played it. It's a good clip. There's nothing wrong with it. It just got worn out.
Mhm.
And War of
Right.
the Worlds kinda too, even though I resurrected that for one of my M-Wave people, and somebody said that's, like, the best clip you played in there. That old War of the Worlds scene when the
It's not
pod
bad.
emerges, it's a really
The
good sound even
2005,
today,
2006
but it
one
was so
sounds weird.
overplayed for a long time.
Yeah, it's not bad. Mine my hate one is absolutely Ready Player One. Ready Player One, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
Sick of it!
Well, and the colors on that one always look a little like they're sorta muted. They're not super saturated, super rich. It's kind of like a little grayscale-ish
Mhm.
on that whole clip.
Mhm.
I don't understand the draw to that particular clip either, and furthermore, did you know that clip is actually recorded? It doesn't even have, at least for the consumer retail disc, it only has 2 ceiling channels.
I'm
It's
not
not like a
shocked.
full 6.
I'm not shocked.
So, I mean, it's not even like a grand mix or anything.
No. No. Nothing against the engineer. I mean, he's probably just working with him what he's got, but it's overplayed. Anyway, enough about that. Um, we should answer questions unless you got anything else. Oh, last thing I'm looking at it. I got a 3D printer, so that was exciting. I told you about that last night.
Yeah.
Making stuff for my wife. So that's gonna get me into trouble. But anyway, let's answer some questions. I've starred them. I'm gonna keep starring them, Jonathan. You're gonna read them because you missed things.
Then someone says, "How come you didn't answer my question?" I'm like, "I didn't even see your question, so I gotta look at 'em to some
See,
degree."
you're already getting blamed. It's Jonathan's fault. It's never my fault, guys.
All
Don't
right,
blame the
Ben.
bald guy.
Here we go. Hey guys, I'm about to recalibrate my setup and implement MSO. Any advice on gain settings for the Mini DSP, Crown XLS 1002, and Multi EQ X?
Mm,
I mean, just the general cautions that you've heard us say before, Mike, and that's that you don't need to max out your gains. It's a gain matching structure. It's not a volume knob. Your Mini DSP is probably going to only be putting out like low voltage. So if you're a Crown amp, I don't remember if that one has a adapter between 1.775 and 1.4. You might want to go to the 0.775 if it has that little toggle switch, like a hard dip switch on the back. Depending on your receiver, I don't think you put in here what receiver you have. It's going to have anything from a mainstream brand is going to have enough voltage to drive any of those things to max, those amps you're talking about. So no, just bear in mind that you can get full output power out of your amplifier at the first gain input attenuation knob if you have enough voltage coming in. So it's not a volume meter, it's a gain matching structure. Like you're just trying to make your input voltage and your output voltage from your source match to be able to take full advantage. So look up the output voltage on your different devices, look at the input voltage on your Crown. A lot of times just set it to half or 2/3 to get started and go from there. You want to keep your AVR. Here's another little tip. You want to keep your AVR in the negative numbers. I've heard people say if you have like 15 channels, you shouldn't have any of your subwoofers above -7. Why is that? Because your speakers, your bed layer, and your Atmos redirect bass to your subs. You don't want the actual sound summation between all the channels going over what it would expect, and you could get output clipping. So if you have your subs at like -7, you have some headroom there. If you have like a 7.1 system, they say basically don't go over -3 or -4 on your subs, and you won't risk any clipping all the way up to reference. So those are just like general practical advice that fit almost every situation. Couple little things. You'll find a lot of stuff on the forums as you read. You unless you're going way above reference, all that stuff probably doesn't even matter that much. It's really like if you're playing at the bleeding edge of your equipment. If you're going to reference and above, you have to start paying attention to more of those little tips. Anything to add, Ryan?
no. Nothing.
Any opinions on the new Epson H series lenses? Hey, we talked about that shortly.
Mm-hmm.
I realize not to trust AI, but it says lumens will increase 15 to 20% on the QL7000 available this year for the QL series.
I guess it could be if it's a anamorphic lens and you have an CinemaScope screen, because you're not wasting the light off the top and bottom.
So I know in their existing lens structure, there was a PDF that I saw not years ago, probably 2 years ago now, maybe a year ago, that listed all the lenses that were compatible with the professional Epson projectors. And there were different lumen outputs. Like some of them would put 100% out, some would put 90% out, some would put 60% out based on what the lens was doing and the throw ratio. I keep saying aspect ratio, but the throw ratio. So if it was like a closer throw ratio, a wider throw ratio, would you get more light output compared to?
I don't know how the structures are, and I don't know what's blocking the light or preventing that output. So I don't have an answer. Anything is possible, including them not coming or being available for the QLs. So who knows? I didn't talk to them. I just saw the post on AVS.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Stay tuned on that. There's an AVS forum thread on this as well. You can kind of like follow that and see if anyone's talking about it. I wouldn't get too excited about that unless you're suffering for brightness. I mean, the QL7000 is already so bright, and if you need more brightness, maybe you could just move it closer.
Let's be real, Jonathan. If you had a QL7000 and this lens came out and you got one, you would turn it up. We all know you would.
We won't talk about that. To piggyback on the MSO question, what is the recommended order when using in conjunction with Odyssey? I would like to use Odyssey for main surrounds, but not for sub EQ. We'll use Mini DSP for the house curve. The recommended order of setting up. So, I mean, that pretty self-explanatory. You're going to apply Odyssey last. So you're going to use your Mini DSP and your REW or your setup routine first. You're going to get your subs dialed in, absent any EQ from the AVR, and then AVR will put on any finishing touches. Or in your case, since you don't want to use it, just not apply it to the subs. Is that his question? I think it's his question.
I think that's his question, and you answered it correctly. Let auto EQ go last. Ideally, you would let auto EQ go, and then you would come back and do manual EQ on top of it again to correct any nuances maybe that you didn't
Just
like what
check
auto
it even. Hopefully, it won't touch it if it's
Yeah,
good auto EQ.
but given the limitations of a lot of consumer products, especially the ones that are running Odyssey, you're really not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, and here you're talking a good point. If you do auto EQ first and then you apply your manual EQ, every time you run auto EQ, you may get a slightly different result because of the variance in where the mic is and the mic quality and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
So
and
it's
you're gonna
not
be
gonna be
mucking
very
with
consistent.
phase too, and you may throw things out of phase and alignment if you're adding those filters. So I would let auto EQ is gonna be a lot better at that than people are. So I would typically let auto EQ fix that.
Run it last.
Run it last.
K for constant. Jonathan, for your subwoofers, have you ever measured the amount of current that they need? Thinking of going with a similar setup with some in front and near field, concerned that they may draw too much.
Just throw caution to the wind and put them all in there. Fly by the seat of your pants.
So we've talked about this on several streams before. There's some information you can find on this on the forums with exact numbers, but a heat-based circuit breaker, which we have in the United States, will pass 3 to 4 times rated current instantaneously for very short durations. So if you have a 15 amp circuit, it can pass 45 to 60 amps. And if you have a 20 amp rated circuit, it can pass 60 to 80 amps briefly. For dynamic peaks, it has to build up enough heat to trip that circuit, and a dynamic peak for like an explosion or something is not going to build up that heat. So it can pass quite a bit more current with the old traditional heat-based circuit breakers. So what I'm trying to tell you in that is that you're going to have a lot more headroom than you think you will for traditional content. If you're trying to watch something with like dubstep and you're just trying to knock the snot out of the subs and turn it up, that's where your current is going to have enough time. It's going to keep playing that same bass note, repetitive bass note over and over again and build up heat in that wiring and throw that circuit. But I mean, this is probably going to make some engineer frown, but I literally have only 2 20 amp dedicated circuits for my room, and all my equipment is on it. And that is, I mean, without even going through it, it's a lot of amps. There are 7 Behringer amps, 2 Crown amps, all my rack of gear. My projector's not on that circuit. But all that gear, the tactile transducers, the subs, like the whole rack of equipment, all that stuff's on 220s, and I've only ever thrown it once, and that was listening to dubstep at stupid volumes.
Man's house burns down from daisy chaining 26 surge protectors.
It just for what normal use is, even like I'm talking about enthusiast use with normal material. You have a lot more headroom than you think.
Well, and I think people generally utilize less power than they think they are.
Oh yeah, there's that as well. Because I mean, we've talked about that too. When you're humming along at like say -10 volume from reference or -20 volume from reference, you're using mere watts, like mere watts. Besides your idle power, your idle power will be so much higher than your use power. Your use power will like disappear into the idle power. You won't even hardly see any difference.
I don't even know why I came to this stream. Jonathan's got all this on lock.
I mean, we get asked these questions quite a bit, so at this point, it's like pull up your sheet and you just have it in your memory. All right, so here we go. Shinedown. Hey guys, have you heard the JTR Kalos 465? I really like the aesthetic of the black one. Just wondering if you would think they would be adequate in a medium-sized dedicated room. Heck yes, they would be adequate.
That's not really a medium size the room. That's a big room.
It's a large room, but those are like really high SPL sensitivity on those Kalos. Let me look it up. Kalos 465 JTR. Sensitivity is 97 dB.
It's crap.
Usable output is 123 dB.
It's crap. I'm just kidding.
And Jeff doesn't really exaggerate on his specs, so it'll do that. I mean, you don't need drop about 10 dB off that usable output for your distance from your speakers in just traditional typical spaces, and you're at 113. You only need 105 for reference, so you still got like 10 dB of headroom there. Plenty.
Have you heard them? I haven't
heard them.
Stitch asks, are they going to be at M-Wave? I don't know. Not sure. I'm trying to get Scott Newby to come because I know he's a newly minted JTR and RTJ dealer. So I'm trying to get him to come. But Michael Boker, I don't know if he's coming. Trying to get Jeff to come. But we're kicking the marketing off. Ryan Kramer, who's in chat here somewhere, is helping immensely with marketing. He's the guy that made this cool new overlay that we got going on that I botched at the beginning and put on the mock-up because I'm a failure at life. But I think those callus will be fine. I think before you choose a speaker, you need to determine what your use case is and what you're trying to do and what you're going to ask of it, and then make sure that the callus can deliver. It probably can, but you always want to figure out, how am I going to use this equipment? How am I going to use this space before making a purchase to
And
make
go
sure
hear
that
it, man. There's a lot of JTR owners. There's a JTR thread on AVS forum that's one of the biggest threads on the forum, and there's a lot of people that would like to share their experience.
Mhm.
You just go ask on that thread. Say, "Hey, I'd like to hear some callus. You want to have a set?" And there'll be some enthusiasts that'll volunteer. Might be in
Yeah.
the same city. Go try it out. Next one from Sega Master System. I'm upgrading from the LS 11000 to the NZ 500. I've been holding off on new movies until the JVC gets here. You are in for a treat, my friend. That is a huge upgrade from specifically the native contrast of like 2000 to 1 to like native contrast of 40,000 to 1.
I don't think he'll get 40,000 to 1.
Tremendous difference. His room would have to be in play for that,
Yes.
but
It'll be a big difference. And the
even if
brightness
it's
really isn't gonna be that much different.
no, not between those two. They're gonna be
No.
close enough to and because the HDR tone mapping is so much better on the NZ500, it in HDR content, it might actually appear brighter to you than
Or
the
you're gonna
LS
gain more
11,000.
detail and not clip. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be really good. It's worth it, for sure.
Yeah. That's a good move, man. You'll really like that. Now, if you're on the LS 12,000, I'd still say you're gonna see a nice improvement, but it wouldn't be quite the improvement that LS 11,000 is because that native contrast is pretty poor on the LS 9000 and the LS 11,000.
Mhm.
Pop Reconstructed 1477 says, I'm really limited on space for a bedroom setup and wondering what your thoughts are on the Martin Logan SLM series. This is all Ryan.
No. Don't. Don't do the SLMs. If you are an enthusiast, don't do the SLMs. It is too much of a compromise to do something. It's better to do something that takes up a little bit more room, something like an Ascendo the 6, or even the previously mentioned JTR Callus, something else on wall that has a little bit more depth, has bigger drivers. Those SLMs, they have no output because they're an inch thick or something like that. They're fine if absolutely needed, but for what you're trying to do, I don't think. No, it's not. I don't think I would avoid them. And that's just not for Martin Logan. That's any speaker like that. That is that thin. It's too much of a compromise for you to get anything worthwhile out of it. Don't spend your money on that. Just get a sound bar if you're going to do that.
K for Constant, back again, saying, for my theater media, I have a 20 amp circuit. Should I add more electrical line? How many amps do you have, K for Constant? What are you running there? If you're just running an AVR and 2 or 3, 4 amps, like for subs, say you have passive 18s or something, you do not need an extra line, almost certainly. If you're trying to run like a room with 8 18s and all kinds of stuff, you might need a second one. But reality is probably not. And why not pass that bridge when you come to it? Like cross that bridge when you come to it. So run it on your 20 amp circuit, and if you ever trip the breaker or how often you trip the breaker, then you can reevaluate whether you need to get more lines run.
Or if you're doing it from the ground up, it's easy enough to just run an extra one and be done with it.
Yeah. He didn't say starting from scratch, did he?
No, but food for thought.
Yeah. Happy Bullet says, who goes to a restaurant to eat leftover pizza?
Evidently we do.
Yeah, well, that's the style. And that wasn't he the one that recommended it to us?
I don't know. You brought it up.
I think he might have been. Happy Bullets, were you the one that recommended that
You're
pizza
the one to
place?
blame because you said that we should do this, and then we did it, and I got everybody together, and everybody was like, "Yeah,
We have to stop taking advice from the audience. That's how we got into that
we're
stupid
gonna
Jurassic
watch movies
Predator
on
movie.
tires and leftover pizza." Maybe at the same time.
That's all that starred, man. Either you fell slack or we got a quiet group tonight.
There was another one for $2,000 projector, wasn't there?
Not that you starred. I'm stuck in the star queue.
Oh, sorry. There you go. There you go.
Oh, this question gets more difficult. What's your $2,000 projector of
It's not
choice?
more difficult.
New or used?
It's not more difficult. I will not recommend the Valerian Pro 2. I won't do it. The Max, sure, but this is under that budget. It's gonna be the Epson still.
50/50?
Yeah. Or if you can get like a used MP5 or something.
I think he could get a used NP5 if he adds an extra 1,000 to that, but I don't think he can get an NP5 for 2,000 unless you're really lucky. He could get an NX5 for 2,000,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's
But
fine.
then you're back to a bulb again.
But you're at a bulb with a 50/50.
Correct. I think the NX5 might be more desirable than the 50/50. Do you think? 50/50 might be a little brighter and the bulb will be cheaper, but the NX5 will have a little better picture, I think.
NX5.
And they're both in that same realm.
I think the NX5 may be a little more expensive. And you may be able to get a 50/50 or a 60/50 maybe on refurb, so it'd have a warranty. The NX5, you're not going to.
I thought you were gonna say the LG 810. That's what
I will murder you. No. We referred to it as the God projector, but that thing was put in a hole. It was buried.
double tapped.
And it was left. Yeah, it was shot, and then it was left there. It was
Yeah.
like the printer from Office Space that they take
Yeah.
out in the middle of the field. That
Yeah.
is the A10.
That's
That poor
funny.
thing. Poor thing.
I can't say this name. Can you? I'm not gonna try. Epson 60/50 or 50/50 for 3D. Is higher contrast better for 3D? So here's a little gotcha. The 60/50 and the 50/50 are effectively the same unit. It's kind of like one of those things where JVC has some lines where they say they handpick parts and they put the better parts in it. You are going to be unlikely to notice the difference in that. Where it's not the same, the LS12000 is not the same as the LS11000. They actually have different, like, there's polarized lens in the LS12000. But for all practical purposes, the only difference you're going to see between a 60/50 and a 50/50 is the chassis color. The 50/50 is going to be a white chassis, and the 60/50 is going to be a black chassis. And the 60/50 was made for like installers and custom integrators to sell more typically, and the 50/50 was more for like Best Buy or Nebraska Furniture Mart or stuff like that to sell. But they're the same dang projector. So if you're buying new, don't even look at the specs. Don't even pay attention to that stuff. Just get the 50/50 if you can stand a white chassis because it's going to look the same. That's earnest and true.
Okay. Do your kids use your theater?
Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, we're fighting. I'm hands off.
Stop it. Do your kids use your theater room? I swear my daughter uses my room with her friends almost as much as I use it. So without you in it,
Yeah.
do they use it?
Yeah. My daughter came down over lunch when I was on my lunch break today and was playing.
Mine don't.
You have a pretty young daughter though,
She's 7.
and your son is really into game consoles, and you don't have that going on in your theater.
It wouldn't matter if it was in the theater. He'll watch stuff. He's like you. He'll watch it on his phone.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does. We all know you use your theater just for demo clips and not for actual content. We all know this. The industry knows this, Jonathan. We're on to you.
You want me to come smack your son around next time over there? Be like, you have this mad VR experience center downstairs. You're watching your phone.
He did not too long ago ask to watch something and watched it by himself. So he does sometimes. And then, of course, he'll say, that was a lot better. And I'm like, yeah, what do you think it's going to be? Oh, well. Ryan says, this is going back to the 810. The 810 launched Ryan's AV career to save others. That's how good it was. Wasn't. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, I didn't buy that on anybody's recommendation except AVS and people saying how good it was, and it was not. It was not. Genesis says he has an MP500 for 2K.
Jump on that, man.
Dang.
Dang,
if that's true,
let's connect that connection.
You may get shot going there.
It's Paul Vigiano 9403. So I'm going to put his name up there. You guys figure out how to make a connection. If you want, put your AVS forum in the chat or make that connection because that's
just put your AVS username on chat and then PM each other.
Yeah.
Look at us. We'll take a 30% cut. You owe us. I'm kidding. You owe us nothing. Isaac Cantrell. I have one PB2000, older non-pro, and I want to upgrade. but I have to say, stay affordable. I was considering 2 Stark SW15s. Thoughts? I'm 80/20 movies to music. I mean, those Starks are tough to beat for that price. They don't even have to be the greatest thing ever, and for that price, what is it, 2 for $1,000? It's
Well, they
pretty
get that
good.
buy one, get one free offers regularly too.
That's what I mean. If you don't do that, HSU. Shoot.
Yes.
Shoot.
I think I would personally go with HSU at this point because I've had a couple people reach out to me and say they've had some issues with their Stark and over time, and Stark's replaced things for them. It's not been a problem in that regard, but
But it is a pain in the butt, and it is a time sink.
I don't ever hear anybody, and I've
No.
known HSU for like 15 years on the
Yeah.
forums. I don't hear anybody say that HSU has a problem.
Well, it's because it's a blood sacrifice for every sub that's sold. No. But he makes great stuff. He makes great stuff. So if you have any interest in those, makes good stuff. We actually have an affiliate now with them. I should have posted that. I didn't do that. I should do that.
Do it.
I talked to Dr. Shu, and he wants us to. Well, I wanted to see if there was any affiliate program, and there is. So you have to go through us, and then we order it, and then it would be shipped to you. So if you have any interest in Shu, shoot us a message.
You got some people coming out with Stark affection in the comments, and that's totally cool. So Van Google says he's got on, and Van Williams says, how come they're all Dutch people that like these Starks?
I don't think they're bad subs for the money. You just got to go in. There have been some things with people saying they've run into issues, but for the cost, I think at a certain price point, you're willing to put up with that.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat, especially at that price. Hard to beat. Okay, there was another question.
We were talking. All right, so I'm going to highlight this question. It's on the screen right now. PhilPot02 says,
You're not highlighting anything.
Well, I tried. If I had access to a system,
I'm going to highlight it right now. You did not.
Oh, now it's off the screen. Can we find it again?
What's the name?
I'm stuck in this. Let me go back to all comments. It was PhilPot02.
PhilPot02. How far up is it?
I mean, it was live on the screen just a second ago. There it is. Here it is. I got it.
Okay.
Phil says, if I had access to a system of that caliber when I was a kid, I would have went nuts. So I went over to Kevin's house, Saltitos on the forums this week after we went and ate pizza last night. Was it just last night?
No,
2 nights ago.
Tuesday.
Yeah. He has an Ascendo setup that's really nice with 4 RTJ subs, and the room is really nice. It's been dialed in a lot since you've been there and since I've been there even. It sounded the best I've ever heard it. His young sons, he's rigged up this entertainment system with like console access to every kind of console using some sort of emulator that's using FPG to emulate any game console you want with any game you want. And we've played an hour and a half these old games like Super Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong Country and stuff. When I was there, and I was just enjoying myself playing on a full system, those old arcade games with a 97-inch OLED TV that emulates a CRT that looks like a CRT, like a giant CRT because of the emulator. Chef's kiss. It was really pretty fun.
It was good. And he's doing that like card scanning thing for his kids.
So because the kids are young enough where some of them can't read, they're just young boys. He made cards with RFID scanners on the back of them, and they're printed out of the like character of the game. And so the kid just picks up the card that they want to play and scans the device. The emulator picks up the scan via like a text screen from the RFID, loads that emulator and plays. And they have the controllers, the little Xbox controllers, and they play any game they want on arcade. To your point, like that's heaven if you're a kid.
Yeah.
That's heaven if you're an adult. I was so enjoying myself there because I haven't even played any of those games with a full system like this. I played that on an old like CRT TV with no speakers at all. Those old games like Donkey Kong Country, like they have a significant amount of like good sound and bass and everything. It was fun hearing those old like I don't know 8-bit sound things, 16-bit sound things with like a full system is really pretty fun. Surprisingly so.
Good. That's cool. I can't get my daughter. You want to go watch this in theater? No. Okay. And when you do get them in there, they think it's awesome, but it's the commitment to go downstairs and do this stuff. And okay, life's too good for you. Need to make your life more difficult. Fat Man asks, what SPL meters are you running?
I have a
Yeah.
couple of them. I have a couple cheap ones from Amazon that are fine for quick glance stuff,
Yeah.
and then I use my Omni mic for more precise things.
The Omni mic and your measurement mics are going to be the ones that you're going to want to use with the calibration file. I have one. I don't remember where mine is. Doesn't need to be anything fancy, but don't get the bottom of the barrel either. You want to get kind of middle ground. I usually say, and you may think this is too expensive, but around $100 to get a decent one.
This one, I wouldn't rely on it to be super accurate, but it's within a dB or two according to my Omni mic, so that might be accurate enough. This one's on Amazon for probably like, I don't know, $30. And one thing that's kind of nice about it is it's lit. So it has a cap to protect the microphone, like a little plastic cap.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a light on it. So if you're in the theater, you can get it the right place. You could turn on a light. That's not focusing very good. Man, I guess it's just too bright for the camera. But it also has the C rating and the A rating and fast, slow, and a max and all those kind of things. So it's kind of fun to take around to people's houses. That's what I do in just quick order. Really, more so than anything else, just to level match speakers, because sometimes processors don't get that right with their built-in mics. So make sure that the left surround isn't playing 2 dB louder than the right surround, that kind of stuff,
All right, last question. Happy Bullets. Question for Ryan. Is there a trick to mounting the 6 wedges to the ceiling? I marked as to where to screw in both brackets, and then I just attach after connecting the cable. Yes. There's nothing tricky about it. You just mark where the bracket's going to go and put it on. Or you can use VESA mounts because they have VESA mount locations. I think they're 100 by 100. Don't quote me on that. It's on the spec sheet. I like the VESA mount options because you can just put the mount up first and then attach it. All my tops are attached to projector mounts. Then I can angle and do all that stuff afterwards. Turn makes it way more flexible and a lot easier. I did it because I'm lazy. Let's be real. Is the Omni mic better than the U mic or U mic 2? I think the software is. Well, no, REW's come a long way.
REW has come a real long way. I think OmniMic is more accessible if you and unfortunately it's just too expensive to recommend anymore. It
Yeah.
used to be within reason, but now it's like $600 or $700 for an OmniMic system. So regardless, I mean, you got to be willing to pony up quite a bit because the U mic only costs you $100 and REW is free.
I mean, REW now, they've got multi-mic reading, they've got RTA, they've got all kinds of stuff. He's come a long way with that. It's even over a few years, it's cool what that thing can do now. It's free. I mean, I paid him to get the multi-mic because I think that's awesome. But
there are two things that are a big draw to OmniMic for me, and one of them has been surpassed now because REW does the same thing. Not surpassed, but equaled. When I was first getting started here, real-time measurements weren't offered on the REW. Real-time measurements are really
big.
They're a big deal for being able to tailor in your theater, for customizing it, for calibrating it. So that was a huge one. And then the other thing that's still actually applicable is with OmniMic, it has a cal file that builds in and knows your SPL, your mic. So I don't have to do any kind of SPL calibration. It just knows it already. It's specific to every single mic. It's not like a generic calibration that's to a type of mic. And so that's one piece. And the second piece of that same story is I don't have to like connect to any kind of system at all. The OmniMic connects to my laptop, and then I play a disc or an MP3 file or something. So it's really accessible. I can literally be measuring your theater as fast as you can play an MP3 file for me. And REW is not that fast. Like it takes a little bit longer to set up. You got to connect to your AVR. You got to get your inputs and outputs set. And in some cases, I don't know anymore. Do you have to set an SPL like with an external SPL meter, that kind of stuff if you want to do SPL?
I don't remember. They've made it easier. You don't have to deal with the BS Windows drivers anymore.
I mean, it would be kind of a running gag because we'd go over to someone's house and be like, I'd measure with REW.
Remember that.
Here's 15 or 20 minutes later. And then I could measure with my OmniMic in like 30 seconds, 2 minutes, however long it took them to actually play.
Not 30 seconds, but yeah, it was fast.
As soon as they could play the MP3 file, I'm good to go. So there's that.
I have 2 PSA TV 36 iPals up front and a butt kicker on my chair. But I feel I'm still missing something, and I want to add near fields. Should I stick with PSA Pro, or can I add something else? Are those ported?
I think this guy, Charlie, needs to experiment a little bit before he goes and buys more stuff. Why don't you take one of your 2 PSAs up front and put it near field and just experiment and rerun your calibration so that you have subwoofer 1 controlling your PSA up front and subwoofer 2 controlling your near field.
Well, what I want to know is what he feels like he's missing. It very well could be a calibration or placement issue. He may just have a null.
Yeah.
Or an alignment, or who knows what.
Yeah, I mean, measure it is the first step, but failing that, and if you don't want to go into that realm, just experiment, man. Play with it. See what you think. Yeah. And his answer is, or his question is, can I stick with Pro Mount style drivers, or should I add something else? Are those things ported? Do you remember?
That's my thing. Don't do ported.
Not for near field. What are, I'm gonna look them up and see. I don't remember. There's too many things out there to remember.
There are.
Let's see. So if I look up PSA, I think the V is probably standing for vented, but I've been wrong before. So let's check it out.
You're wrong all the time.
36 iPal.
The only one person wrong more often than you is me. Let's be real.
I see. I guess it doesn't literally necessarily look like they're ported. Let's see. Does it have a port on the back or anything?
Probably not. That'd be unusual for a sub to have a rear port.
Most of the retail subs have rear ports.
Oh yeah, I guess they do.
Come on, this website. What is going on with this website?
PSA's website?
Tom needs to update that.
I haven't been there in a while.
Here, I'm going to share that screen as we discover.
Oh no, we're going to suffer together.
Oh boy, I just launched Edge and I think I have a virus on Edge. Let's get out of that.
Oh no.
I have a story about that. I'll tell you in a minute. So here's the PSA thing. Did it pop up? Oh, dang it.
Every time you ask that, and yes,
I can see because I only have one monitor. It didn't pop up. That's the wrong one.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to share.
Here we go. Now you can see it probably.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, look at this website is straight up not good. Come on. Let's do better.
I mean, he's got some. Looks like he did some word placement, like with.
It looks like something got imported and didn't import right. Is what it looks like. The bullets are weird.
Yeah.
The font's weird.
What
There's
browser are you
tons
using?
of white space. Chrome, modern Chrome.
Oh my God, you're still using Chrome. I hate Chrome. Remember when Chrome was all the rage? And
Chrome is all the rage.
No, it is not. It is.
What do you use?
Firefox
some sort of
Safari.
Oh no.
Mainly Safari.
Why? I mean, this site's so bad I can't even quickly see ported. Let me see if I can search for port.
It's bad for me.
Okay, it does. It does have a port. That's a downfiring port. So they just hid it from the viewers here.
Okay, it is bad.
Everyone on the comments is probably lighting this up. Like, you idiots, this is ported. It's been ported for the last 10 years. He's been out.
Yeah.
No.
Bad website.
For reasons that you can watch on my website, on my YouTube channel. I recently did a video that showcases this, why you don't want ported for near field. Go to my channel and watch that. But you can test with it. I mean, sure, test and see if you like it. But that's not what I would buy for.
Don't expect low end from it, like ultra low end from that, because it's going to go to the port and you're going to get no feel in your near field.
Yeah. Well, basically at port tune, the drivers stop moving and it's using the box resonant because air resistance is at the highest level at the port tune. So the drivers will barely move and the port will be creating the noise, which would be firing into the ground, which means you wouldn't be feeling it nearly as much.
Yep.
So no, not those subs for near field, but you can try them and see if you still like them. And if you get sealed beyond that, you'll like them more. So that's the easy answer.
Yep. Okay. No more questions. We're at the end.
Hey, Parts Express shows OmniMic at $3.99. Did they lower their price? I'm going to check it out. Because I saw
share your screen again and go, hey, can you see this?
The V3 came up as much more than that. OmniMic originally, to our lament.
Maybe that's the V2.
No, it's 600. I'm looking at 600. Where's he see 300?
400 to be fair. Maybe he's looking at the V2 and not the V3.
I mean, I don't even see a V2. When I type in OmniMic on Parts Express, the only thing that comes up is a UM6, which is not the OmniMic, and a mini U mic, which is not the OmniMic. The OmniMic is the 40K precision measurement system right now. It's $600. The version 2 was 300 and the version 1 was 300, and then they jumped it to 600.
Because they can. You can blame us because we talked about the Omni mic all the time. Probably has nothing to do with us, but makes us feel good. Anything else? What movie are we going to watch?
I'm so far behind on comments, man.
There's nothing. We've already done the iPal.
Laser Ghost Knives, thank you. We appreciate the promotion.
Oh, he's on the Dayton.
Oh, well, how would you buy it, though? Because as far as I know, the OmniMic V2 is out of stock, like out of production. If they'll sell it to you at Dayton's site, then do that. It's worth 400. It's questionable whether it's worth 600. Values perspective, subjective, but to me, it's
values in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
All right, what movie are we going to watch?
I'm watching Ghost Protocol tonight with my daughter, the 4th Mission Impossible.
All right, so we just need to go through the Mission Impossibles. Is that what we're going to do?
That's what I've been doing slowly.
Okay, that's fine. We'll go through the Mission Impossibles.
The third one holds up really well.
I haven't seen Ghost Protocol, so I will watch that.
Okay.
And then we need to watch the new Sisu, the Norwegian John Wick.
Yeah. All right, I'm not against that. I haven't seen that one yet.
Have you seen the first one? Oh. It's probably watched.
You told me it was good. I just haven't watched it.
I wouldn't say it was good. It was nonstop action of a guy that doesn't speak English, who's angry the whole time. So take that for what it is.
You want to have a little bit of news about M-Wave at all before we drop off here?
I'm really bad at this. I'm so bad at this. But M-Wave, we can talk about M-Wave for a minute, and then I got to go. So M-Wave coming back 2026, September 18th through the 20th.
That's all. That's it.
All I got. There's really no big news as of late. I've got a bunch of text strings of like, yeah, they say they're coming. Yeah, they say. So we're just waiting on confirmations right now. Ryan Kramer is doing God's work with helping me market this thing because I suck at marketing. I'm highly technical, but I suck at marketing. So he's helping me with that. Got Maurizio and Peter from Officina Acustica say they're coming to do some seminars on acoustics, recommended practices, everything audio. There was talk about Peter Aylett and Adam Peltz doing a booth where people could, I thought this was a great idea, like have a couch and you could donate to a charity, like X amount, like $10 or something, and then sit down for 10 or 15 minutes and have a conversation with them and ask them whatever questions you wanted about your home. I thought that was a great idea. Like they're not getting income or taking anything. You're benefiting a charity and you're getting your questions answered. So I thought that was a great idea. So there's possibility that may happen. Still pretty confident that's actually going to happen. Working with one of my reps to get companies like, I'm going to throw them out there. Don't know if they haven't said yes or no, but we're throwing it. Theory and Pro Audio coming, which a lot of people don't have exposure to, but they are very objective brands. Theory makes excellent sound bars. They are a little bit expensive, but not a lot of really good sound bar options. There is K-Ray is potentially coming. There was somebody else. I can't remember who it was. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of who it is. But we're going to have a lot more information in probably the next 2 weeks or so on who's coming. I mean, half the rooms, 3/4 of the room are already full, so there's not much more room to fit more people. But tickets are on sale at MidwestAVExperience.net if you think you'd like to come. Ryan, again, is doing God's work with helping me get everything together. He released a video that he's going to start posting shorts, and I thought it was hilarious about we blamed Tim for something. I don't remember what it was, but Tim, it was your fault. And I really like what Ryan's doing. So think it's good for the industry. See, I suck at marketing. Ryan just needs to do it, not me.
Somebody just coming in probably thinks you're talking about yourself in the third person and like, what is going on here?
Well,
Ryan Kramer versus Ryan.
oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're talking about. Man, Ryan's doing God's work. I suck at marketing.
really
Ryan's doing awesome. Yeah, that's a little weird. It's not me, guys. I'm not talking about myself. Big Ryan is who we're talking about. OG Ryan is who we're talking about. Ryan Kramer lives in Kansas City with us, but he is a much smarter man than I and seems to know his way around marketing. So he's
and endless energy. That man has endless energy.
I don't know how he does it. His daughter's older, so maybe that's how he doesn't have small munchkins draining and sucking the life out of him. That's already been done.
There's a running story here. This is truth. I asked him one time if we could do a projector demo at his house. Like if I could bring, I think it was related, and I'm going to make sure I have this right. I think it was related to when we did the LS 12,000 dual stack. And I texted him kind of out of the blue and said, "Hey, would you like to see these things dual stack? Would you, be interested in checking that out?" He texted me back. It had to be like 5 minutes. I might be exaggerating, but it was like very fast. And he's like, "Yes, and I already built a stand. Come on over." Like he went in this like woodworking area and built a stand because he didn't have a way to mount two of them in a row, so that it would be exactly like basically touching each other, top and bottom, projected the screen. It was all like immediate. Like
knowing Ryan, it was probably omnipresent, and he was like, in 15 minutes, I know Jonathan's going to text me and ask me this question. I better have a stand. That's how Ryan is.
Yeah, he's on top of it.
Very, very smart. I don't know how he does all the things that he does, but I'm very thankful that he is on board to help me out with M-Wave, and M-Wave is all the better for it. So again, M-Wave, September 18th through the 20th. Wish we could do it in the summer, but this stupid thing called the World Cup is in the way. And it's going to be a good time. It's always a good time. But this one's going to be an even better time because I think there are going to be a lot more big players in the industry that are going to be there, and people are going to be able to get a lot of their questions answered. There's going to be a lot more than we've had in the past. Not like content creators. Content creators are great, but guys that really know their stuff are going to be there and providing their expertise so that all of us aren't reinventing the wheel. Anyway, Ryan says it was 15 minutes, not 5 minutes.
The story doesn't change much.
Liar. That's all I hear is lying. Okay, well, we'll wrap it up. We'll stream sometime next week. When? Who knows? I do have a stream on next Thursday with Ben Goff. So if you guys want to meet Ben Goff virtually, we're going to be doing that Tuesdays and potentially, eventually, sorry, not Tuesday, Thursday. Potentially after that, Mondays and Thursdays, we're going to be 10 a.m. Central because he's in Europe. So we got to accommodate for him, but we're going to be doing that. So join us then. I've already got it scheduled. That's all I got. We're going to watch Mission Impossible. So that's exciting. Anything else?
No, Paul, we missed your question. We'll get it next week. Ask us again. I know the answer to that, but I think Ryan's got to go.
No, answer it real quick, and then we'll go.
I'm just going through the questions here. I'm like way behind. I have an Odyssey issue where I set all levels to -12. Not sure if it's a mic issue or difference in sensitivity between bed level and heights. If Odyssey is setting your speakers to -12, you either have your gain input attenuation knobs too high if you're running an amplifier, or if you're not running amplification and it's just connected directly to speakers, they're extremely close to you, you're in a small room, or they're very sensitive speakers.
-12 is as far as it can cut.
-12 means it's out of room. It can't cut anymore, and it wants to because it's trying to make 0 on your dial reference volume. So it's trying to drop the speaker levels because they're too loud, and it can't go any lower. -12 is the bottom. So it depends on what you're doing. Are you running external amplification? Are you in a small room? Are your speakers super sensitive to what your solution would be? If you're running external amplification, you can turn down your gain input attenuation knobs.
If they have them.
If you don't have them or you can't do that, you can buy external attenuation pads. And they look like they're about this long. Parts Express sells them. They look like a little cylinder, and they have resistors in them that lower your voltage by an attenuated amount without changing the frequency response. So you could get like a 10 dB attenuator and have more headroom there. They're $5 each or something, not very expensive. So you have some options. We might be able to like talk through that more next stream or something if you have further questions.
ABS is your friend on that one, though. There's other people that have encountered this issue, so I would encourage you to take a look. Anything else?
No.
Okay, that's all I got. So we'll wrap this up, and we will see you guys next week at some point when we decide to stream. Who knows when that's going to be? Scheduled for a while was tomorrow, but it was today. Okay, well, we will see you guys next week. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your home theater journeys. If you have any questions, drop them into the comments, and we will hopefully respond and get you taken care of. But we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.